12 years ago, I was sitting in the college dorm, feverishly editing Demon Hunter's Dead Camper Lake, while underneath me, in the basement, Matt Vancel was in a room shooting a movie about gaming.
I fear for the life of the princess, my only daughter, and heiress to my kingdom. She was kidnapped from the royal gardens and taken south by the black priests in service of the Shadow.
The Shadow? The Shadow? The Shadow.
The Gamers, this little side project that we figured nobody would want to see. It was just, we were doing it for ourselves.
Because we're gamers, because all these things happen in our campaigns.
And we thought it would be funny to capture some of those on film. And we figured this will go nowhere.
It'll be something to entertain ourselves and remember cool college experiences.
Well, we were wrong. Delightfully, completely, wonderfully wrong.
This little 48-minute project went on to become a viral internet hit. Long before YouTube
right, was exactly. Out there. And what people kept asking us is, well, this is great, but when are you going to make another one? And Darkness Rising became an even bigger hit.
Yeah, over 120,000 ratings on Netflix.
A near perfect 5-star review on Amazon. And wherever the movie's played, the people we've spoken to, the feedback we've gotten has been, you guys got it, you nailed it, that's us in the movie.
This is why we game. This is why we love it. When are you going to make the next one?
And the answer to that has always been when we have the right story, which we have.
And it's epic.
Epic? Are you mad? Please. I have been a journeyman for years. I am wasted on ballots.
If you've ever been in that campaign, the one you've been playing for ages that you absolutely adore, and you're getting right to the huge climactic world-shattering end of it, but you don't get there because life keeps getting in the way, then you're right where our characters are at the beginning of this movie. Gary is getting work calls because he's in crunch that's pulling him away from the game table at the same time that Lodge and Joanna's relationship is showing up at the game table and throwing off the dynamic. Leo is just trying to run his business, and Cass is the only guy who can game with as much time and energy as he used to, and is finding himself more and more isolated because of it. The group is struggling to stay together, to stay a group. So the group decides to go to Gen Con to finish their campaign. Cass, though, goes for completely different reasons. See, he's fallen in lust with a CCG playing girl, a tournament level player, and he goes to Gen Con to enter the Storyline World Championship tournaments to win a date with her. And that is the story of Hands of Fate. And we're still going to be doing the same play-within-a-play mechanism from the first two Gamers films. We're going to be cutting from the real world to the fantasy world to see the effects of gameplay on the world of the game. And we're not only going to be doing that during the RPG sections, and yes, all of the Darkness Rising fantasy characters, Sir Osric and Daphne and both Lusters, all of them will be returning, but we're also going to be doing that when we're playing the collectible card game. We're going to be cutting to a world full of card art where we see the effects of the game as it's spoiler deleted.
One of our favorite RPGs is Pathfinder, and so we went and we talked with Paizo, and we're going to be able to use the Pathfinder rule set for the RPG portions of the film. We talked with AEG. They publish a storyline CCG called Legend of the Five Rings that was a huge inspiration for this movie, and they're working with us to help make the cards look realistic and the game mechanics right, and to develop the entire 15-year publishing backstory of all the back tournaments and all the other parts of that went into this fictional game, just to make it completely real. And of course, we're shooting the movie in collaboration and with the help of Gen Con, who's allowing us to shoot at the convention. They've worked with us to develop this huge Gamers Live event that we're doing Friday night for 1,000 people, where we'll do this live improv show in August, and follow that immediately up with shooting the climactic tournament scene from the Gamers Hands of Fate. We've also put together some rewards for supporters that we are seriously excited about, and they're far more than we can talk about in this video, but a few highlights that really are worth mentioning.
World-famous fantasy artist Wayne Reynolds is going to be doing the poster for the movie, which, just like he did for Journey Quest Season 2, that's available at multiple levels.
We also talked with Sean Reynolds, who's a phenomenal game designer.
At Paizo, he's going to be designing a module of the Shadows Dungeon, and it is going to be brutal and evil. You can play your way through just like the characters in the movie and die just like spoiler deleted. There are several speaking roles in the film. Come and join the cast. You'll get a full day on set, in costume, have lines spoken in the film, be featured in the credits, invited to the cast party, and credited on the Internet Movie Database.
We did that really successfully with Journey Quest. Everyone had a phenomenal time, said they couldn't wait to be back. We're also trying something new where we have the opportunity to appear as a character in the fantasy world, have a painting done of you as that character, and become an official card.
You will be a card. You could be a card in the actual game, played in the movie.
So we think that's pretty cool. Additionally, we'll have the supporter live streaming events from the set like we did on Journey Quest.
Behind the scenes access of the daily shoot and all of our making of videos.
Our web producers will also be there every day getting the material out to you. Unfortunately, we're going to be losing one of our web producers.
That's right, because we wound up casting her
As
in
the lead.
film. The lead.
So we're...
Hey, Trin.
Congratulations,
Congrats.
Trin.
Do we have a spare boom operator?
Hipster Jesus?
Thanks, JC.
My introduction to the world of Dead Gentleman and Zombie Orpheus and the Gamers was through Gamers Darkness Rising. And I remember very clearly watching it for the first time and being drawn in by the nerdiness and the humor of it all, right up until the character of Joanna joined the gaming table. And I very clearly remember sitting there and thinking, oh no. Because the guys were getting on her case about how exactly her fighter should be, how many hit points her fighter should have, and so on and so forth. And it looked like for sure that she was going to stand up for herself and be proven wrong in the next 10 minutes, and her character was going to die. And the exact opposite thing happened. And that was the point at which I realized that not only was this thing fun and nerdy, it also had something really interesting to say. And that really resonated with me, both as a girl and as a nerd.
And that is the movie that we want to make. Of course, the question is, how are we going to make it? Well, we learned a ton from Journey Quest, and we're doing many of the same things this time around. We are going to release this movie episodically online for free under a Creative Commons license that will allow the fans to take it, download it, to share it for free without fear of being sued, because ultimately we're making this movie for the fans. We also learned a lot from the Journey Quest process about how to budget a movie and what it takes to do something of this scale and scope. And that's where the number that you see off to the right of your screen came from. We need $320,000 raised on Kickstarter to make this movie a success. And, the question is, what do we need possibly to spend that much money on? First of all, we're making a huge movie. We have to pay our cast and crew. We have to go to Gen Con. We have costumes to build, a fantasy world to create. We have a bunch of card art to create this time, to build as we go into it within the movie. And, of course, we have all of these amazing rewards that we want to offer to people, and we have the Kickstarter fees.
And that is the plan.
We've wanted to make this movie for years, but we really had to wait for the right moment.
And Journey Quest was our test case and really did prove that this model can work.
If there are enough fans who want to see it, it will happen. And The Gamers has been seen on YouTube alone by millions of fans.
All over the world, we've had screenings and conventions in Brazil, Germany, Russia, Japan, Estonia, Israel, and the United States.
What we figure is if every person out of those millions who has seen and loved The Gamers put in $5, that would be a lot of money, and we could make The Island 2 Michael Bay's Revenge.
Or we could make The Gamers Hands of Fate for less.
Right. And that's why we're here. If you like The Gamers,
Or Journey Quest.
or our fan-supported Creative Commons release model,
Or if you just happen to wander in off the street and think that what we're doing here is groovy.
help us out. Contribute to our campaign. We have some amazing rewards.
Tell your friends and family.
Join our community at zombieorpheus.com.
If you have ideas, share them with us here or there. We've incorporated them before.
We have come such a long way since shooting The Gamers in a dorm basement in 2001.
We have. The technology has improved.
Our skills and our storytelling has improved.
But at our core, we're really just the same group of people who enjoy spending time together. Whether it's around a game table with character sheets, or around
cards,
or dice,
or with scripts on set.
with
We want
actors
to
and
be
whatnot.
telling stories.
And you've allowed us to do that. So thank you, and we're very excited to bring you the next chapter in the Gamers franchise. It's going to be amazing.